Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome to my guide to the patch 3.3 addition to the Anima quest line. With this patch, a new quest was added to increase the strength of your Anima weapon to a new maximum of item level 240, as well as assign it your own custom stats. We will detail how items are obtained, choosing your stats, and redistributing stats after you complete the quest. If you wish to skip to a specific part of the guide, please use the annotations in the top left hand of the video. For starters, in order to undertake this quest, you must have already obtained a hyperconductive Anima weapon, which is item level 230, and speak to Ariyala in Azys Law. Once accepting the quest, A Dream Fulfilled, you will be given two items, an Anima Glass and Ulan's Note. The Anima Glass is used to track your progress on the go, and can also be viewed directly at Ulan in Idleshire. Ulan's Note acts the same, a mobile means of reminding yourself the items you can use to trade in for Crystal Sands, which we'll cover here in a few minutes. Keep in mind that these upgrades can only be done at Ulan in Idleshire. You cannot do them even with the Anima Glass and Ulan's Note in your inventory. So in order to complete this quest, you must push your Anima to new limits by feeding it treated crystal sand. This treated crystal sand can be created by bringing two items to Ulan. The first, Umbrite, can be obtained from Hismena in Idleshire for 300 esoteric tomestones each. The second item, regular crystal sand, can be gotten in any one of 10 ways, each of them listed in Ulan's Note. These methods include blue gather and crafter scripts, trading crafting materials, primal item drops, items bought with poetics, items from the Crystal Tower and Void Arc raids, moonstones from Grand Company seals or Ixali quests, demi-materia, elemental materia, and amber encased vialkin. Once you've collected the number of items requested in the note, you can trade them for one crystal sand. I made a video regarding obtaining amber encased vialkin, but should you be out of leaves, blue scripts and items bought with poetics are fairly easy to access for sands as well. Upon taking a crystal sand and an umbrite to Ulan, you can combine them to create the treated crystal sand. For every one umbrite and one crystal sand, you will receive 3 treated sands, which you can use to select the stats you'd like to have on your completed weapon. After handing in 40 umbrites and 40 crystal sands, you'll have used a total of 120 treated sands, accessing the halfway point of the quest. After a brief cutscene at Ulan, you can continue the second half just like you did the first, but there's one new twist. Now whenever you create treated crystal sands, there is a chance you'll obtain bonus sands, speeding up the second half of the quest process. I have seen up to a total of a +3 bonus, totaling 6 treated crystal sands for the price of 1 umbrite and 1 regular crystal sand. I've even heard reports of players receiving even higher numbers than this, so keep track of your progress closely. After completing all 240 points on your weapon, you can finish the quest by unequipping your Anima and taking it back to Ariyala and Azys Law to forge your completed item level 240 weapon. Also, should you maybe dislike the choices you made with your itemization, you can swap the stats on your weapon by going to Ulan and trading him for more crystal sands and using those to modify your weapon's parameters. You don't need umbrite for this, you just need the crystal sands. So that's it for the quest, and if that's all you wanted to know, thank you for watching, but I know some people are going to have some very specific questions, so let's just take care of those in the second half here. All in all, the most amount of umbrite and crystal sand you'll need is 80, but with the bonuses this can be completed in less than that, and most likely will. This means you'll need a maximum of 300 times 80 esoterics, a whopping total of 24,000 tomestones. I personally went about this by doing roulettes every day and also running Aetherochemical Research Facility 4 to 6 times a day on top of that. With a solid group composition, you can complete ARF, our nickname for the research facility, in about 17 minutes for a pretty sweet 150 esoterics. Another option is to speedrun the Anti-Tower, which rewards 100 esoterics and can be done in as little as 13 minutes. They are near equivalent in speed to spam these two dungeons, so spam them as much as you will. I also went about helping people with first time bonuses for things like the Final Steps of Faith, Old Extreme Primals, at least Heavensward ones, and any sort of Heavensward dungeon they had new player bonuses for, just to break up the monotony. If you find yourself needing poetics to complete sands, the hunt is a slower but still effective method for obtaining both poetics and esoterics. This stands true for the old item level 210 step as well if you're stuck on that. In case you're wondering if you need to be on this quest in order to stock up sands, you can't trade the items for sands before reaching this step of the quest. However, if you'd like to get, let's say, 80 amber encased vialkins before you even get to this step and then trade them all for sands once you actually reach this far, you can do that. You just can't trade them for the sands until you reach this far into the quest. Another question I know I'll get a lot in the comment section of this video is regarding what stats to put on the weapon. There are a few pretty simple rules here, but I also recommend checking your stat weights over on FFXIV.Ariyala.com. For most jobs, it will be 120 crit, 115 determination, and either 5 speed, skill speed or spell speed, or accuracy. Bards currently prefer 120 critical hit rate, 115 skill speed, and 5 determination according to Ariyala's stat weights. Black mages, on the other hand, are best off going with 120 spell speed and 120 crit, with summoners going 120 crit, 115 determination, and that 5 spell speed or accuracy. Healers, on the other hand, are really a bit of a toss-up. Raiders will find accuracy being the highly spoke about stat, since savage raids have a fairly high accuracy requirement, and healers are known for needing to hit that in order to contribute DPS to the fights. Scholars, of course, value crit very highly, with spell speed following just after that. Astrologians are a pretty huge toss-up and are very similar to white mages in terms of their itemization. Accuracy, however, on Astros isn't as required because their 2 dots, Combust 2 and Combust, both have a 100% accuracy because they have no initial damage, so their stat priority is very, very difficult to pin down. Ultimately, determination seems to be the only stat that no one talks about for healers, so it's going to be a choice between piety, spell speed, crit, and accuracy, with some of the jobs kind of leaning towards certain directions. As I am not a main healer, I don't want to make any permanent things, I can only tell you the trends that I've noticed. And for tanks, pretty much go the same as we said before, full crit into determination into skill speed or accuracy, like the other DPS. Though some warriors tend to want to go with a little bit of skill speed. I don't know exactly what numbers they're looking at there, but that's what I've seen. Finally, my thoughts on this step compared to the previous steps. It's one of the longer ones. It's very akin to the 200 to 210 step, though it has a little bit less of an investment needed, meaning there's no real need for gil in this step. Whereas in the other step, you either had to have friends craft you it for free or needed to gather materials or just buy the item straight off the market board, on top of all the grinding that came with Alexander, Esoterics, Poetics, Allied Seals, whatever method you were going with back then. So you could do this step fairly casually. If you just want to do your roulettes every day, do your Weeping Cities, do your Void Arcs, do your Savage Raids, do your Extreme Primals, you'll pick it up eventually. It's not going to be quick, but you'll get it done. Trust me with that one. Just be glad that it's not really a test of how much gil you have. It is a test of how much effort you're willing to put forth. And finally, that is going to be the wrap up to my Anima guide. If you have any questions, be sure to put them in the comment section below. And if anybody has any sort of recommendations to help people other than Netflix and chill, please put that in the comment section as well. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Best of luck on your Anima weapons, and until then, take care.